यशोदानन्दना व्रजजनारञ्जना यशोदानन्दना यमुनातीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी माधव कुंज बिहारी। ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्रीमद् अभय चरणारविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की। ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्रीमद् भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की। ISKCON Foundacarya, VVD Foundacarya, save the whole world, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki, Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Samaved Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayarmudirayet nashtaprayesu abhadreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavatiruttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki mukam karoti vācālam pango langayatengirim yat kripatamaham bande Shri Guru Dinatayanam Paramanandam Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Iswaram. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 9, Text 25. Is that sloka, Prabhu, on the board? brahmovāca bhagavan sarva-bhūtānām adhyakṣo vasthito guhām veda apratiruddhena prajñānena cikīrṣitam brahmovāca bhagavan sarva-bhūtānām adhyakṣo vasthito guhām veda hi apratiruddhena prajñānena cikīrṣitam brahmovāca bhagavan sarva-bhūtānām adhyakṣo vasthito guhām veda hi apratiruddhena prajñānena cikīrṣitam brahmovāca bhagavan sarva-bhūtānām adhyakṣo vasthito guhām veda hi apratiruddhena prajñānena cikīrṣitam brahmovāca bhagavan sarva-bhūtānām adhyakṣo vasthito guhām veda hi apratiruddhena prajñānena cikīrṣitam brahmovāca bhagavan sarva-bhūtānām veda hi apratiruddhena prajñānena cikīrṣitam. Vaishnavis. Brahmovāca bhagavan sarva-bhūtānām adhyakṣo vasthito guhām veda hi apratiruddhena prajñānena cikīrṣitam brahmovāca bhagavan sarva-bhūtānām adhyakṣo vasthito guhām veda hi apratiruddhena prajñānena cikīrṣitam. Word to word meaning. Brahmovāca. Lord Brahma said, Bhagavan, O my Lord, sarva-bhūtānām, of all living entities, adhyakṣaḥ, director, avasthitaḥ, situated, guhām, within the heart, veda, no, he, certainly, apratiruddhena, without hindrance, prajñānena, by superintelligence, cikīrṣitam, endeavor. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, avasthitaḥ Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Lord Brahma said, O Personality of Godhead, you are situated in every living entity's heart as the Supreme Director, and therefore you are aware of all endeavors by superior intelligence without any hindrance whatsoever. Please repeat. Lord Brahma said, O Personality of Godhead, you are situated in every living entity's heart as the Supreme Director, and therefore you are aware of all endeavors by your superior intelligence without any hindrance whatsoever. Purport. The Bhagavad-gītā confirms that the Lord is situated in everyone's heart as a witness, and as such, He is the supreme director of sanction. The director is not the enjoyer of the fruit of action, for without the Lord's sanction, no one can enjoy. For example, in a prohibited area, a habituated drunkard puts forward his application to the director of drinking, and the director, considering his case, sanctions only a certain amount of liquor for drinking. Similarly, the whole material world is full of many drunkards, in the sense that each and every one of the living entities has something in his mind to enjoy, and everyone desires the fulfillment of his desires very strongly. The Almighty Lord, being very kind to the living entity, as the Father is kind to the Son, fulfills the living entity's desire for a childish satisfaction. With such desires in mind, the living entity does not actually enjoy, but he serves the bodily whims unnecessarily, without profit. The drunkard does not derive any profit out of drinking, but because he has become a servant of the drinking habit and does not wish to get out of it, the merciful Lord gives him all facilities to fulfill such desires. The impersonalists recommend that one should become desireless, and others recommend banishing desires altogether. That is impossible. No one can banish desires altogether, because desiring is the living symptom. Without having desires, a living entity would be dead, which he is not. Therefore, living conditions and desire go together. Perfection of desires may be achieved when one desires to serve the Lord, and the Lord also desires that every living entity banishes all personal desires and cooperate with his desires. That is the last instruction of Bhagavad-gītā. Brahmaji agreed to this proposal, and therefore he is given the responsible post of creating generations in the vacant universe. Oneness with the Lord, therefore, consists of dovetailing one's desires with the desires of the Supreme Lord. That makes for the perfection of all desires. The soul, as the super soul in the heart of, the Lord as the super soul in the heart of every living being, knows what is in the mind of each living entity, and no one can do anything without the knowledge of the Lord within. By His superior intelligence, the Lord gives everyone the chance to fulfill his desires to fullest extent, and the resultant reaction is also awarded by the Lord. Thus ends the translation and purport. In context of answer by citing the Lord's version, Srimad Bhagavatam 2nd Canto, Chapter 9, Text 25. Om ajnanatimidandhasya jnananjanashalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya manobhishtam sthapitam yena bhutale swayam rupa kadamayam dadati swapadantikam. Vande aham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine nirvishesha shunyavade paschatya deshatarine vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So before that I speak anything, I would like to beg for all of us mercy so that I could speak. I don't have any qualification to sit upon this exalted Vyasasana and speaks, but still, just for the sake of service, I like to just try to glorify wonderful devotees, Vaishnavas, Acharyas. So if anything good comes out, it's their credit, and anything wrong comes out, it's my misgivings, so kindly forgive me. Hare Krishna. So here we see answers by citing the Lord's version. Srila Sukadeva Goswami is trying to answer all the questions asked by Parikshit Maharaj through different ways. And this chapter itself is very important because this is the chapter in which the nucleus of Srimad Bhagavatam, the Chatusloki, is spoken by Lord Narayana himself. So, Praha Bhagavatam Nam Puranam Brahma Samhitam Brahmane Bhagavat Proktam Brahma Kalpa Upagate. So, this is the episode, what is being discussed here. It is of very special time, that's called Brahma Kalpa. Or devotees also tells it should be Padma Kalpa, the first day of Brahma. So, Sukadeva Goswami tells about how Brahmaji was created from the navel of Lord Narayana, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And when he was created, so there was pitch darkness, and there was very vehement air blowing, as well as there was only water down, and he couldn't see anything. And that was very difficult situation for Brahmaji, because he was the only person in the universe. No one is there to talk and to take direction from. He just comes out, and he is bewildered. He is thinking, what to do? From where did I come? What's my responsibility? What should I supposed to do? Then he started searching that really, I don't know, from where did I come? Let me search out. So he went all the way through the stems of that stem of the lotus, and he couldn't get nothing. So again he thought that, okay, better to sit at one place and just do some contemplation. So then he heard some words, tapa, tapa. So some droplets of water that dropped from the lotus petal, and it fell in the Garbhodak ocean, and the sound comes out, tapa. I have seen some, if drops comes, then the falls down, what happens? There is a sound called tap, tap. So the sound is coming tap and tap. So he thought like, oh, this tap, tap. What is this? So I think I should do tap. I should do austerity. I should do penances. So he immediately agreed to do penances. And without any personal connection from the origin of sound, he just sat down on that lotus flower and he started doing penances. And for how many years? 1,000 celestial years. 1,000 celestial years, I mean for the demigods, not of his own, because he himself lives for 100 years. So there was a little discussion about it within devotees. So how many years Brahma lives, and 1,000 years of his own life. So of demigods, he does tapasya for 1,000 celestial years. Then Narayana appears. So here it is mentioned, Lord himself tells that this is the distinction between a suyogi and kuyogi. So the suyogi is one who understands the desire of his superior, even though he is not able to see him, as well as even Krishna. And kuyogi is one, he always like a drunkard, like Srila Prabhupada tells here, that he has desires other than the desire of Krishna. He is not into the alignment with the desire of Krishna. That's why the sound vibrations may not enter into his heart. So that's what it happened with Brahmaji. Brahmaji could understand that this word tapa is for me and I should do tapa. Yeah, that's how it happened with Srila Prabhupada also. So Srila Prabhupada, when Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Goswami Maharaj leaves the world in 1937, from then Srila Prabhupada was all alone, always thinking out how to serve the instruction of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. And he tried to do different services, like he started writing magazines, Back to Godhead magazine. He went to different places, he tried so many things. But at one time, he was just distributing magazines, Back to Godhead magazines in Delhi. So one of his friends tells him that Abhayacharana Vinda, Babu Abhayacharana, why don't you write books? Because this Back to Godhead magazines, the magazines are magazines, people they will read now and they will keep it somewhere. They may not throw it in the dustbin, but it will be not as such, it cannot secure such tangible space in the houses of the people. So better to write books. So Srila Prabhupada thought, yes, my spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, is speaking from the mouth of this, my friend. So after that, Srila Prabhupada started writing books. So we see these kuyogis, there are many examples Srila Prabhupada gives specifically for the scientists. So they do a lot of tapasya. For what purpose? For just to get miseries only. Actually, at one place in Bhagavatam, Prithu Maharaj tells to Chatuskumaras, these people are actually tapasvis. Those who are actually doing so much of penances and tapasya just for the sake of getting sense gratification. A very beautiful sloka. It tells that tadaham krita vishramba suridam vas tapasvinam. He asked Srila Chatuskumaras that please tell me how some benefit could happen to these people, those who are tapasvi. What type of tapasvi they are? Tapasvi doing tapasya just for the sake of sense gratification. And there are other gratifications also. Gratification of their own ego, gratification of their own intelligence, maybe gratification of their own mind. And most of the people, those who are engaged into gratification of their own senses. So all of them are put into same category. Mukti kami, bhukti kami, all the same category. So like this, Srila Prabhupada said, like Vishwamitra was also one. He did tapasya for 60,000 years. 60,000 years of tapasya. So what was the avail of this tapasya? After so many years of tapasya, first of all, he was tested 2 times, once by Menaka, another time by Brahmā, he just fell down. And after 60,000 of years, he got some upadhi or some degree, some certificate from Brahmaji himself. And he was told by Brahmaji, now Vishwamitra, now your desire is fulfilled, I give you the certificate, signed by myself, Brahmā, this Chatusloki Brahmā of this universe, science, that now you are Brahmarshi, Haribol, now you can go, now your ego is satisfied. So, yeah, but there is a problem. Problem is that my senior Vasthita is not accepting me still to be a Brahmarshi, so I don't know what to do. So after 60,000 years, still this fellow is not satisfied. Srila Prabhupada tells, the 60,000 years of tapasya, as much spiritual credit this Vishwamitra gets, the same credit you can get by distributing my books. Go to the street and do Harinama Sankirtan, you get more than that. So this is suyogi. This is the real tapasya, which is actually described by acharyas. And what is that tapasya? Tapasya just for the pleasure of Sri Gurus and Krishna. That's the real tapasya that devotees should do, and of course everybody should do. But people, they just somehow they hang around into another types of desires and all that. Like a drunkard, they don't have any sense that what they are going to get after doing this so much of tapasya. Ultimately they get death only. They get klesha only. That's the only pleasure they get. There is another sloka Lord Brahma tells in 10th canto. He tells that this tapasvis is these people, those who are actually not surrendering to Krishna, to the words of Krishna, their tapasya is simply giving them kleshas. Shreyasritam bhaktim udashyate vibho klishyanti eva kevala bodhalabdaye. Tesham aso kleshal eva shishyate. So for them only klesha is shishyate. Only klesha is their benefit. For those who have their goal to just gratify their senses or the mind or intelligence. But for those who has taken the instructions of authorities, the Mahajanas, they are the real tapasvis and they get all that real credits, starting from Lord. And for what purpose they do? They do for the benefit of the people. Lord Narayana himself does that, tapasya. Why? Because Narada, once he comes to Vaikuntha and he tells that you are just sleeping here, being massaged by your wife. What people will learn here in this material world? And they're anyway there, Bhavayan and Maithun and Madira and all, they are just naturally inclined with that. So you are also, seemingly you seems to be enjoying sense gratification here. You should come out from comfort zone and go out, do some tapasya. So Narayana immediately has to leave. He leaves the place and he goes to Badrikashram and he does tapasya and he's still doing that, tapasya, Badri. And Narayana also comes and he's still doing tapasya. So Lord Narayana himself has to do tapasya. Then we see Brahmaji himself does tapasya. Without being seen by, just he is doing tapasya for 1000 years. Brahmaji tells Narada, now you should also do tapasya. What tapasya? You should glorify Supreme Lord. You should just expand this Srimad Bhagavatam, glorify everywhere, so that people can get devotional service by hearing those narrations of pastimes of the Supreme Lord. And he does that tapasya. Tapasya of glorification of the Lord. Of course, the pleasure is there a lot in that type of tapasya. But if we go to that field, you find that there are also challenges. Like for Narada Muni, it was not so easy. He had to go and speak the truth. For 11,000 of sons of Daksha, he went and just spoke the truth. And they were also doing tapasya for what purpose? For kuyoginam tapasya. Tapasya for again doing progeny and all that. So he told that, no, you should do tapasya, you are so meritorious, so tapasya people. No, you should go and take sannyas, glorify the Supreme Lord, don't go into family life. And what did they do? They did the same thing. And after that, what happened? Daksha became so furious, so angry, and this Narada was cursed. Cursed for what? You cannot stay at one place more than one muhurta. Is it good? If somebody tells us that no, you cannot stay at one place more than one muhurta, is it good? We always try to go somewhere, we try to seek out some comfortable place, some good place. But this was a challenge. This is tapasya. Narada Muni gave the same tapasya, same instruction to Vyasadeva to do tapasya. You wrote so many voluminous books. Now you glorify the Supreme Lord purely. So this instruction is always coming in the chain of disciplic succession. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, and before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, devotees like Srila Haridas Thakur, Brahmā himself again, just for the sake of words of his spiritual master Advaita Acharya, how much he suffered. Not for his own self. He was chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When there was no mission, there was no Hare Krishna movement. There was not even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. There was some handful of devotees like Advaita, Nityananda and Haridas. Haridas Thakur was chanting every day, day in, day out, 24/7 chanting Harinam. And that was a time where the situation was not so easy. Everywhere the looting, robbery, raping, looting villages and all that. And Haridas Thakur was canned 22 marketplaces. And he was telling that unless till the time even one small little fraction of my body remains, and that fraction of my body will also chant holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And Mahaprabhu was not there. For what he was doing? Just for the instructions of his spiritual master, Advaita Acharya. That's why. This is Suyogi. And when he was beaten up, like such butchers, they were so powerful. Like we people, like if we will get same type of beatings in one marketplace only, maybe some 10 or 11 will die. But Haridas Thakur, he was living still. Why? When Mahaprabhu comes and in Mahapraka's pastime, he calls Haridas and tells that, Haridas, do you remember those days? You remember those days when these Yamunas were beating you in 22 marketplaces? I immediately sent my Sudarshan to to slit their heads. But your prayers, your desire to save them was more powerful than my determination of killing them. You are so great, Haridas, and you are just getting the beatings. I could not tolerate, I immediately put my back in front of your back. And I got those all beatings. You see, Haridas, Haridas just faints there. So it could be it's nice to hear this all wonderful pastime. But we should go deep into the emotions of this pastimes, that devotees, they just want to do all different types of penances, the austerities, for the pleasure of the Lord, the pleasure of his spiritual master. And that's their only pleasure. Haridas Thakur, similarly, Rupa and Sanatana Goswamis, simply staying somewhere one day near beneath one tree, another day another tree, like that, going on. And the same line, our most dear Srila Prabhupada, suffering so much, whole life Srila Prabhupada had a struggle. Whole life. Since the time he got the instruction, he always thinking how to execute the instructions of my spiritual master, His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Always. And because of that, he had very nice, beautiful family life, and that was always into so much a struggling life, family life. His wife, Radharani Datta, she was thinking, why you are so crazy after books, always writing books, doing everywhere. You come also for some days and you do here Harinam Sankirtan and speaking with whole day we are not able to sleep. Always Harinam, okay Baba, Harinam Sankirtan is good. Okay, for a few minutes. And then after that we have our other activities. That is also having some space in our life. Also for you there is only one thing in your life, there is nothing else. So he was practically, he was being fried, or being not fried, he was cooked like in pressure cooker. So whole life, Srila Prabhupada just struggled. He just ruined his family life for following the instructions of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. He thought that, okay, being a vanaprastha, I will serve. I will try to preach. He went to Jhansi. In 1952, he thought, I will start one institution called League of Devotees. And from here I will start the worldwide movement. From here I will train people. I will get brahmacharis, I will get vanaprasthas, I will get sannyasis, I will establish the whole varnashrama here. And I will preach the holy name all over the world. And you see, there he stays for some few months. And there in Allahabad, Prayagraj now, then Allahabad, there was burglary. How many? 7,000 rupees were looted, cheated. Not cheated, he was looted. And the news came that, Abhay Babu, your farm has been looted by your own servant, 7,000 rupees, and all that property gone. And Abhay Babu simply laughs, speaking that yasya anugrami words. Yasya, what is that sloka? Yes. Yasya ham anugranami. He speaks the whole sloka, and yes, Krishna is taking out all my attachments slowly. And he goes again to secure some money, again back to his house somewhere in Calcutta. And he finds that there is another drama happening here. That my wife has into full non-cooperation movement. He has sold my Srimad Bhagavatam commentary, whatever it was there, to the person who was like tea vendor or someone, who was barter, who was used to sell things with the barter. Srila Prabhupada told, okay, it's too much. Whole life I struggled to preach, but these people, they could not cooperate, so now it's over. So simply Srila Prabhupada told that, okay, so you have to choose either one thing. Either you have to choose tree or your husband. So very laughingly, smilingly, Radharani told that, okay, then I have to choose the tree only. I think I have to just get away from or get rid of my husband. So she was speaking in a very much joking mood, because husband and wife, they could always have different dresses. So he thought that, okay, she thought that it's all normal, but Srila Prabhupada left. He leaves that place. And he do not know, he don't have any money. He just leaves that place. Some or other he gets some money from borrowing from someone, and he takes a ticket to Jhargram. He goes to his godbrother's matha, and he stays there. No money, nothing. He was the person having then 1,000 rupees like crore rupees now. Can you imagine? It's like so destitute, simply fully depending upon Krishna. This is before going to USA, just in India, so much of a struggle. Srila Prabhupada comes here in Jhansi again to establish, still, but he don't have any money, and still he finds there is a lot of struggle here. Another some Mahila Samiti has come, and they are telling that no, you cannot be here, you have to get out of here, and all that happened. Srila Prabhupada lost that all hope. Then he has to come back to Keshav Maharaj's Mutt in Mathura, and there he was just trying to do editorial service, because he was a well-renowned editor of all that books and the magazines. So this was the situation. Then he thought that better I should go to Delhi. Because Delhi I can preach. You're always thinking how to preach. So Prabhupada always thinking how to preach the holy name. So Mathura I will stay, what I will do? I should go to Delhi. So he went to Delhi with his another godbrother, and there also the same situation was there. He has to cooperate with neophyte brahmacharis, those are always fighting with each other. And he has to manage all that. And he wanted to increase the sales of the Gaudiya Patrika, but there was no fund and so many struggles. And at last, the dean of that institution, he told that no, somehow indirectly he told that you have to leave, because your imaginations are so lofty, your ambitions are so lofty, and we are thinking small only. So I think you can have your own setup. And Srila Prabhupada has to leave that institution also. No institution, nothing, just going somewhere in somebody's house for some days, temporarily somewhere, sometimes maybe Birla house or Birla Mandir. So this is a situation happens for those who takes up what? Takes up what? The instructions of their spiritual master. Very fearful, right? We say, Sabhavatara Sara Swarama Shar Shiromani Kevala Ananda Kanda. Yes, it's very Ananda Kanda, but we are just having Ananda Kanda of so much of a struggle done by our acharyas. It's very easy. For all of us now, we can go immediately We have now like tagline, ISKCON devotees now, the bona fide preachers. It's very easy to preach, but to get that tagline, to get that brand, Acharya has suffered so much. That's the real tapasya. The real tapasya. So, Lord is seeing everything. All that. Yesterday, Maharaj was telling his only Bhakti Prasatam Swami Maharaj. So, Lord will ask you when you return home back to Godhead, yes, how much you struggled taking the instructions of a spiritual master. Are you just coming, just having nice chanting, dancing, feasting, that's it? Yeah. You have to get all the records there. How much is, of course, Lord is seeing everything here. So, we should think that how we could also do some service. That's a great pleasure into that. Just living on the mercy of Supreme Personality of Godhead, doing penances, and Srila Prabhupada, that the real penances to enhance the situation of the world. Penance. He penned down all that transcendental vibration from Srimad Bhagavatam, and he enhanced the situation of the whole world. If we do not do that, then only we have only penance. Well, enhancement of pain and pain only. So it's a great opportunity for all of us, all of wonderful Vaishnavas. So I am no one to tell anything about it, but we have great opportunity. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself has given this instruction. What instruction? That go out and please speak about Krishna. Please chant the holy name of Krishna. Bhaja Krishna, bolo Krishna, bhajo Krishna, kaho Krishna sikha. Suno suno Nityananda, suno Haridas, sarvatra amar agya koro ho prakash. Prati gare gare gya koro ei bhikha. Bolo Krishna, bhajo Krishna, koro Krishna sikha. So if we are able to do it, that's great. If we are not able to do it, at least we should ponder upon these points of Mahaprabhu, and that will itself will give a lot of what's called, in the words of Chaitanya Charitamrita, chamatkar. Chamatkar. Chaitanya Chandra daya koroho vichar karile pabe chitte chamatkar. So that's what it happened. Just by thinking about the instructions of Lord, instructions of Sri Guru, Srila Prabhupada and all that. So surely this is going to bring chamatkar in the personality who is doing that, as well as around that personality. So with these words, I just like to stop here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you so much. Any correction, any comment? Welcome. Hare Krishna. So no question, no comment, no correction. Yes, Prabhuji would like to add something.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much for your class. I'm sorry for my English, it's not so nice. I want to ask, you said that Brahmaji performed austerities 60,000 years?
60,000 years.
Yes.
Vishwamitra.
Vishwamitra. And Brahmaji?
Brahmaji?
Yes.
1,000 celestial years.
But these years of demigods?
Yeah.
So Brahmaji lives 100 years.
Yes.
So for him it may be 1 month, yes?
Yeah, could be.
For him it's not so...
it could be smaller, yes.
6 hours just.
6 hours?
He just sits, chant maybe, like we are chant 62, 64 hours.
I never been to the calculation, Prabhu, so could be 6 hours or 6 months, I don't know. But I think it should be very small in front of the time, like time zone of Brahmaji.
So for him it's not so big time.
Yeah, could be.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's like hours starting from 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock, right? Every day. so it could be like that. Yeah. It's justified. Justified. Yes, sure.
What did you say about the benefit of going out on book distribution compared to like Vedic sacrifices?
Yes, Praji? Can you please speak a little louder, Praji?
Sankirtan with Vedic sacrifices or something like the ratio?
Srila Prabhupada tells to his disciples in 1975 in Chicago that Vishwamitra did 60,000 years of tapasya. That much amount of credit, how much he got, you can get that much amount of credit doing 60,000 of years of tapasya just by doing Harinam Sankirtan for a few months.
Well, we see that people do Harinam Sankirtan for years.
Yeah.
And also we've heard that you get the benefit of 10,000 Aswamedha sacrifices just by walking around Mayapur.
Yes.
And personally, I've walked around Mayapur quite a bit. And we see a lot of people walking around Mayapur.
Yes.
So, how does this manifest? How do these benefits from these activities, that make actually some kind of tangible result where people, what happens if there's going to be swan airplanes coming down and picking people up, or going back to Vaikuntha, or what? Some people don't seem to really be so benefited. So how do you know?
Maybe Prabhuji like to know the proportionate benefit, like
how do you actually cash in on these benefits? Yeah.
How to cash in with the benefits of doing different types of see, all that limbs of devotion service, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaran, Pada, everything, all the limbs of devotion service is more glorified than any other process by default. So, specifically Shravanam and Kirtanam, which is being empowered by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and instructions of Acharyas, very, very powerful. Yeah. So somebody does that, like as Prabhu told that, going into the different islands of Navadvipa. This is the actually instruction of Nitaichandra Prabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself wanted that. Acharyas also wanted, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur wanted this. So we are doing it, and we are getting that result. It's of course more than one step in Navadvip is in 1,000, maybe, I don't know exactly, 100 Aswamedha sacrifice. Yeah. So this is true, Prabhu. This is true. So whether we will go to Vaikuntha or Goloka, it depends upon like what we desire. So we are in Vaikuntha, not Vaikuntha. We are in Vrindavan, being in Navadvip Dham. So of course we will go to Vrindavan only. Of course. So that's what. Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhu, is that I spoke? It's like Hare Krishna.
Maharaj was there in Sunday, I think, Bhakti Arjava Pritivardhan Maharaj. He was telling something similar to this also, like no matter how many yajnas or punya or whatever you're doing, but what is your desire? Do you want to get rid of it? If you don't want to get rid of it, then no matter how much penances or harinam or whatever you do, then it will not go away because our desire is not there. We don't want to give up all these things.
Yeah.
Bhakti Arjava Pritivardhan Maharaj was saying. So I just wanted to add to that.
Yes. So desire of, while performing the devotion services, whatever our desires are, so that also counts. Right? So accordingly, it purifies us or it propels us to different places. That's true. But Sravanam Kirtanam itself, the process is so powerful. Srila Prabhupada tells, whatever your desire is, just be in the fire of Harinam Sankirtan Yajna, and all that dirtiness will get purified by default. Because we will hear. So what should you desire while doing Navadvip Parikrama? We will hear. And the desires will slowly going to get purified. So that's why it told somewhere that in the path of devotion service, if you keep your both eyes closed also and you run, you won't fall down. Because the process of devotion service is very powerful if you remain in the association of devotees. It's very, very powerful. So it will surely going to clear out all those inferior desires. and give us ultimate result. Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Yes, ma'am.
Prabhuji, if I understood correctly, Suyogi and Kuyogi. Suyogi is one whose desire is aligned with the Lord's desire,
Yeah.
and Kuyogi is who's selfish. So, those who are practicing Krishna consciousness, theoretically, yes, my desire, I want it to be aligned with Krishna's desire.
Yes,
but still, there are so many desires in the heart. So, the practicing, those who are practicing Krishna consciousness, are they categorized under Kuyogi or Suyogi?
Yeah, they are all Suyogis only, Mataji, because they are the sincere servant, the sincere devotees. Even though the inferior desires they come, they do not want to keep those desires. Even though they come, just like Brahmaji also, the desire came. Desire came of enjoying his own daughter. But he lamented after that. And then he gave up the body, what he had. I mean, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, give up the body means give up the mentality. So we also do the same thing. We are into this material world, having earthen body and similar mind, and we may get some influence of Rajas and Tamas, but we do not want that. We tell Gopinath, Mama Nivedana, Suno, I do not want all these things. I give up. Please, you take care of me. I do not want this nonsense desires. I have only one desire in my core of the heart, that I could serve your divine lotus feet without having any ulterior motive. So we desire that. It's the core of that sincere devotee is, the desire is that only. So, of course, the such sincere souls are Suyogis. They are the Suyogis. The true yogis, they are. This is my small little limited understanding, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Premanande.